So here it is. This is the first click on Windows 8. I log in by swiping up to the lock screen, and I'm right on my start screen. The first thing that you see is the UI is chromeless and clean. It's fluid and responsive. It works great with touch. It works great with a keyboard. So I'm hitting page up and page down here, and I can move around with a keyboard. See, we designed Windows 8 from the ground up to be excellent for touch-only tablets, and it works well with a keyboard and mouse. The tiles that you see here on the start screen are live. These represent your apps, your people, your contacts, the information that you care the most about. You can arrange, group, and name them however you like. And that first start screen experience is really personal. It puts you at the center, and without even having to open any of those tiles, you can quickly see tweets that are coming in, or new email, or notifications that I'm tracking with a newsreader, for example. It's all presented to you immediately without even having to take that next step. Let me launch one of these apps, and you'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to scroll over and launch a weather app. The first thing you notice is that the apps are chromeless, immediately taking up the entire screen. Every single pixel on the screen is there to represent your information. There aren't title bars and system trays and scroll windows. The application really comes to life as Windows quickly fades to the background. And we think that's a really fun user experience. The other thing to note about this app is it's created on Windows 8's new application platform for apps that we call tailored apps. Now, this application platform is based on HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS, the most widely understood programming languages of all time. These languages form the backbone of the web, so that on day one, when Windows 8 ships, hundreds of millions of developers will already know how to build great apps for Windows 8. These apps are great for consuming the web, and they work on all of the form factors that I'm showing here. So let me show you how easy it is to launch and switch between these. All I have to do is swipe in from the side, and you see the Windows controls appear. I can touch Start. I can get back to my home screen. And let me open my Twitter client, for example. I can swipe in from the side, touch Start, and maybe look at my newsreader. So I'm in my newsreader app. Swipe in from the edge, touch Start, maybe open an investment. I think you get the idea. That Edge UI on the right-hand side of the screen is what's controlling the start screen and also launching new apps. What's going on here is those apps are actually all still open. By dragging them from the left side of the screen, I can easily switch between those apps by just dragging them like that. So the Windows UI, that's okay. If you think it's cool, I think it's cool. We've been working on this for quite some time. Well, watch this. If you're holding a tablet, these controls are right under your thumb. So it's right the way you would have a tablet. You can slide your finger, quickly get back to the home screen, and they're right underneath my thumbs. So that's the design for tablets. Here's how you actually control the apps themselves. So if I'm in my newsreader app and I swipe up from the bottom, I can get to the controls that control the app. So I've added a cool hunting feed to my newsreader. So what happens is Windows is working on the sides and the apps work from the top and bottom. But the neat thing is those controls are easy to get to and then quickly get out of your way so you enjoy that full screen experience. Now that full screen is a 16:9 widescreen. And we think that's a really good orientation for the screen because it's excellent for watching high-definition video. So let me go back to Start and launch a video. This is a video of my favorite paragliding spot back in Issaquah, Washington. And you can see it immediately launches, it takes up the whole screen, and I'm enjoying my video. What's going on here is even cooler, is we have real multitasking going on. So as though I switch between the other apps, if you listen, that video is actually still playing. So real multitasking.
And
one of the neat things about 16:9 widescreen is a feature that we've introduced in Windows called Snap. And Snap makes it easy to use two apps side by side. So if I drag in another app, I can drop it in the middle, or I can come to the side and drop it. Now I can watch my video while I'm looking at news.
Wow. Good job.
I can drag the video over like that and make the video small and have more space there. And in fact, I can change the app that I'm working on just that easily. Drag this back. And so what we've got is a really great side-by-side story because we know people are doing multiple things at the same time. So let me pause this video. These controls are really easy to use. Whether they're under your thumb or you're using them with the mouse, they're just there and they're quickly and easily out of your way. So the most important app of all of these systems is the browser. Something over 60% of most people's time is spent in a browser when they're using virtually any system. And so with Windows 8, we're going to be introducing Internet Explorer 10. Internet Explorer 10 is a browser that's optimized for touch. It immediately shows up in a full screen mode. And like before I showed you, I can drag it from the top and switch tabs. It's optimized for panning and zoom in. You see if I come down here, I have a new keyboard, and I can type in a URL. In fact, we even have a new ergonomic keyboard that puts all of the keys right under my thumb so that I can thumb type easily while I'm holding a tablet. So we've done a lot of work to think about how can we make this better and more ergonomic and fast and fluid and really fun. That's the part of the UI. Internet Explorer 10 is the best hardware-accelerated browser out there. You can run hardware-accelerated Flash, ActiveX, do in-private browsing, several features that most other touch operating systems don't support. But here's the big surprise. All of that works, and this is really still your PC. You really have access to all of the files on your system. They're just one touch away. You don't have to give up the control to get the new experience. So in this case, I can see the pictures that are on my screen on a traditional desktop. You see how fast that switches? It's not a different mode. Launching this is like launching the start menu. It's just instant. That's just how quickly you can get to another app. And in fact, you have the same control over your files from within an app. So let's say I'm here in my Twitter app, and I want to post a picture. I can see all those same pictures, but now they're in a user experience that's designed for touch. So it's easy to scroll. You can see as I hit these, they're showing up along the bottom. I can unselect them very easily. So I have this familiarity, and I have the same kind of control in my Twitter client at the same time. Let me get back to picking a picture. Because another thing that I was going to show you is you not only have access to the documents and files that are on your system, you can have app-to-app sharing. So these apps in Windows aren't islands. They can register themselves with the systems and say, I can share pictures, for example. So not only do I have the pictures that I have on my computer, this app, Photo Feeder, has registered itself to say, I can share pictures. So I'll go over here, I'll pick a picture of this cat, and right there I post it into Twitter. No copying and pasting, no trying to save something to a desktop or a place in the sky. Apps can talk with each other. So when you have a system that has more apps, the system just keeps getting more powerful. And what's neat about this is that familiarity, you can actually run side by side. So you don't have to choose between new and old. I can have that same Twitter client here right next to a desktop if I want to that can use software that I already know how to use. So if I want that, I can have it. And if I want, I can be in this mode all of the time. And all of it is controlled and fluid with touch. So that's Windows reimagined for tablets. You've seen the UI. I talked a little bit about apps that are tailored for web. And all of this is running on this 1366 by 768 widescreen with edge-to-edge capacitive glass. But here's what's also important to take away today. We did not just design Windows 8 for tablets. When you're reimagining a system that 1 billion people around the world use, it's a big responsibility to think, how is this going to work on all of the other systems? Windows 8 is for hundreds of millions of computers of all different kinds, all different size screens, whether or not it has touch. Windows 8 is an upgrade for the entire ecosystem of PCs. In fact, we did that in two ways. In one way, we extended the trend that we started with Windows 8, but with Windows 7,